Most people go through life trapped by invisible chains. Chains made of expectations, opinions, judgments, approval. You wake up in the morning and you're already performing. You watch what you say, you watch what you do, you watch how people react. And slowly, without realizing it, life becomes a series of calculations instead of experiences. But what if I told you there's a strange shift that happens when you stop caring about the wrong things? Suddenly, conversation become easier, confidence shows up, opportunities appear as if by magic, and people, they respect you more. Not because you tried harder, not because you became smarter, but because you finally stepped out your own way. And here's the part almost nobody tells you. This is not laziness, this is not indifference, it's a way of unlocking the natural flow of life. I will show you in this video the one realization that instantly removes the fear of judgment, the realization that can transform you how you move through life. If you watch carefully, it will change the way you see yourself forever. Think about the last time you overthought something. Maybe it was a conversation, maybe it was a decision, maybe it was a text you sent. You replayed it again and again in your mind, such as, did I say the wrong thing? What if they judge me? What if I fail? And the stress feels real, even though most of these fears never actually happen. You know why? Because your brain evolved to protect you. Thousands of years ago, worrying about danger kept you alive. Today, the danger is often social, approval, judgment, reputation, and yet your mind reacts the same way. It overanalyzes, it second guesses, it calculates, and slowly it suffocates natural confidence. Here's the thing most people don't realize. The moment you stop caring about how others see you, confidence shows up automatically. You don't need to try harder. You don't need to force it. It's already inside you, waiting for freedom. Here's the truth most people get wrong. Confidence isn't about being perfect. Confidence isn't about succeeding at everything. Confidence comes from not needing approval. When people desperately want approval, the energy changes and you can feel it. They hesitate, they over-explain, they try too hard. But when someone doesn't need approval, their presence changes. They speak freely, they act naturally, they radiate more authentic. And here's the paradox. The less you chase approval, the more respect you earn. The less you try to impress, the more people want to be around you. And the less you care about validation, the freer you will feel and the more your life will begin to flow. But there's an even more powerful truth coming up. A story about a man who spent years trying to impress everyone around him, and everything changed the moment he stopped. Watch closely because his realization will show you the exact difference between fear and freedom. There was once a man who lived his entire life trying to impress others. At work, he tried to please his boss. With friends, he tried to say the right thing. Online, he carefully crafted a perfect image. Every decision, every word, every action was filtered through one question. What will people think? For years he did this, until one day he failed. A major project collapsed, people criticized him, he felt embarrassed, ashamed. But here's where the story takes a turn. After the initial shock faded, he realized the world didn't end, people moved on, life continued, and most of the pressure I carried was inside my own mind. From that moment forward, something shifted. He stopped trying to impress. He spoke honestly, he pursued what excites him, and oddly enough, life improved dramatically. Because the moment he stopped performing, he finally started living. But here's what most people don't get. Not caring doesn't mean being indifferent. It's a subtle but profound difference. If you misunderstand this, you could stop caring the wrong way and make your life harder instead of easier. Later in the video, I'll explain exactly how to stop caring the right way so life begins to flow naturally. Humans have been asking the same question for thousands of years. Why do some people seem calm, confident, and unshakable, while others are constantly stressed, anxious, and fearful? Ancient philosophers, especially the Stoics, had a surprising answer. They believed that suffering comes not from events themselves, but from attachment. Attachment to outcomes, attachment to approval, attachment to the opinions of others. They said, "We cannot control the world, only a response to it." This is huge. Most people waste their entire lives trying to control things that are completely out of their hands. They obsess over what people think of them, what could actually go wrong, how to avoid failure. Meanwhile, life passes by unnoticed. The Stoics had the solution. Focus only on what you can control and let go of the rest. Your thoughts, your actions, your attitude, your integrity, and everything else, let it go. And when you do, life begins to flow. I'm going to share 3 signs you're over caring about the wrong things and how to instantly let them go. Recognizing these signs is a game changer. If you watch carefully, it will completely change how you make decisions. Fear is a powerful force, and the number one fear humans carry is the fear of judgment. We all want to be liked, to be accepted, to be seen as capable. But here's the truth. People will always judge you, always. Even the most successful, most admired individuals face criticism. The difference is how they respond. Some let judgment define them. They shrink, they hide, they stop pursuing what they truly want. And others, they acknowledge it and move forward anyway. Because they understand something powerful. Judgment doesn't define your worth, your action do. And here's the paradox. The less you care about judgment, the more respect you earn. Think about it. People naturally trust someone who's authentic and fearless, not someone trying to please everyone. Here's the twist most people never realize. Fear only has power over you if you feed it attention. Stop giving fear attention and it loses its control. When you stop obsessing over approval, outcomes, and judgment, something incredible happens. Life becomes an experiment. Every interaction, every decision, every opportunity is now a chance to learn, grow, and explore. Some things work and some things don't, and you no longer stress over the failures. You learn, you adjust, you try again. The people who grow the fastest aren't those who avoid mistakes. They're the ones who aren't afraid of them. Imagine a life where failures don't paralyze you, where rejection doesn't stop you, where mistakes become a stepping stone instead of obstacles. That's the power of letting go. Later, I'm going to share a real life story of someone who applied this experiment mindset and completely transformed their career, relationships, and confidence. It's not hypothetical, it's something you can model immediately. Think of an archer. They aim carefully, they breathe steadily, they focus on the target, and then they release the arrow. Once it leaves the bow, it's out of their control. The wind may shift, the target may move slightly, the arrow may curve unexpectedly. What would happen if the archer continued to obsess over the arrow after releasing it? They never shoot again. And life works the same way. You can prepare, you can act, you can give your best effort, but once the action is taken, the outcome is no longer fully yours. Worrying won't change it, overthinking won't help. The secret is to trust the process, to release the arrow and keep moving forward. This is exactly what people who stop overcaring do. They take action, then let go. And here's the part most people miss. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring completely. It means caring about the right things. Later, I will reveal 3 things you must care about to live a fully free flowing life. And ignoring these can actually make you weaker, not stronger. There was a young businessman who constantly worried about what investors, friends, and family thought of him. He micromanaged everything. He overanalyzed every email, every meeting, every decision, until one day a deal fell through. A major investor declined. He felt devastated. He thought he had failed. But then something shifted. He realized the investor's opinion did not define him. The deal did not define him. His worth was intact. And from that moment, he stopped trying to control everything. He focused on creating value, taking action, and learning from results without obsessing over approval. And within months, his business began growing faster than ever. Opportunities appeared naturally, and his confidence just boosted. The lesson? When you stop caring about the wrong things, life begins to flow effortlessly. Most people think caring is a virtue, and it is, in the right context. But here's the problem. Most people care about the wrong things. They care about how they look to others, the social status, approval from people they barely know, avoiding mistakes at all costs. And these things create invisible chains that limit growth. Imagine carrying a backpack filled with rocks, each one representing someone else's opinion, expectation, or judgment. The backpack is heavy, your movement is slowed, your confidence is buried under the weight. Now imagine you remove the rocks that don't belong to you. Suddenly, you move freely, you breathe deeply, you think clearly, you act naturally. This is exactly what happens when you stop caring about the wrong things. Later in this video, I'll show you a 5-minute mental exercise to immediately identify which rocks in your backpack aren't yours and how to drop them. This one simple exercise can change your energy, your focus, and your results in life. You've probably heard of flow. It's the state where time disappears, where you're fully immersed, where action and thoughts feel effortless. The secret most people miss is this. Flow rarely appears when you obsess over outcomes. Flow appears when you focus fully on the present moment, when you enjoy the process rather than stress about the result, when you stop caring about judgment and embrace your actions fully. This is why people who stop over-caring often perform at their best naturally. Their work, their creativity, their relationships all improve because the mind is no longer blocked by fear and anxiety. Here's something counterintuitive. The less you care about forcing success, the faster success actually comes to you. It's strange, but it's true. This is the story of an artist who shared her work online. At first, she obsessed over every comment, every like, every critic. She revised endlessly, she hesitated before posting, she compared herself to others constantly. Her growth stagnated, her creativity slowed, and one day she decided to stop caring about external validation. She focused solely on expressing herself and creating what excited her. And the result? Her art improved dramatically, engagement skyrocketed, opportunities appeared without her chasing them because she stopped performing for others and began living for herself. This is the essence of life beginning to flow naturally. And later I'm going to break down 3 actionable ways you can stop caring about the wrong things today without being reckless or indifferent. This is the step that most people never take, and it's the difference between feeling trapped and feeling free. One of the most overlooked ways to stop over-caring is learning to say no. Not to people you care about, not to your responsibilities, but to the things that drain your energy unnecessarily. Every yes you give to someone else's expectation is a no to your freedom. The most successful people are masters of this. They protect their time, their energy, and their focus. They say no to judgment, not to pressure, not to overthinking, and this creates a space for their life to flow naturally. Here's the truth. Saying no feels uncomfortable at first, but every time you say no to something that doesn't matter, you say yes to something that does. Stopping to care isn't about becoming indifferent, it's about choosing what truly matters. Here's how you do it. Identify what is yours to control. Your actions, your thoughts, your character. Let go of the rest. Opinions of strangers, outcomes you can't influence, situations outside your control. Focus on your process, not the result. Work, create, act, live fully. Detach from unnecessary pressure and practice daily reflection. Ask, which things I care about today actually serve my growth and freedom? Take small risks. Start with tiny actions that challenge overcaring. Gradually, your fear and attachment will fade. When you follow these steps consistently, life stops being a battle and it begins to flow naturally. And now, the part most people wait for. I'm going to reveal the ultimate realization that frees your mind completely and makes confidence flow and freedom almost automatic. It's the final piece that ties everything together. There's one realization that separates the people who are free, confident, and flowing from the people who are stuck, anxious, and performing. It's this. Most of what you worry about today will not matter tomorrow. Think about it. The mistakes you regret, the comments you feared, the judgments you overanalyze, they fade, they disappear. They're forgotten, yet the time you spent obsessing over them, you never get that back. This is the ultimate key to stop unnecessary caring. Recognize that most of life's pressures are illusions. Detach, release, focus on what truly matters. Do this, and your mind finally becomes calm. Your actions become natural. Your life begins to flow effortlessly. But there's one final question you need to ask yourself, and it will decide everything. What am I still caring about that isn't mine to carry? Later, we'll explore how to answer this and free yourself completely from invisible chains. Let me tell you another story. A man grew up being told to please others always. He followed rules, avoided mistakes, worked hard to impress. But inside, he felt trapped. Anxiety, pressure, and fear controlled him. One day, he lost a job he loved. At first, panic set in. He feared failure, judgment, rejection. But then, he remembered a simple truth he had ignored. You're not your failures. You're not the opinions of others. You're not the results you cannot control. He began to act differently. He stopped overthinking. He took risks. He spoke honestly. He focused on his craft, not the approval of others. And months later, he looked back. Everything had changed. Opportunities appeared naturally. Confidence surged. His life was flowing effortlessly. This is what happens when you stop caring about what doesn't serve you. It is a small shift in thought, but it creates massive change in life. Psychologists have studied this phenomenon extensively. When you obsess over judgment or outcomes, your brain produces cortisol, the stress hormone, and cortisol blocks creativity, it blocks performance, it blocks flow. When you detach from unnecessary worry, your brain produces dopamine and endorphins, and that creates calm focus, joy in the present, and effortless confidence. This is why letting go is not just philosophy, it's biology. Your body and mind are aligned with your freedom. Your performance improves naturally. I'm going to give you a step-by-step daily routine that rewires your mind to stop over-caring for good. This is the secret that people who live effortlessly understand, and most never teach. Let's make this practical. Here's exactly how to stop caring about the wrong things and start living naturally. What can you control? Your thoughts, actions, effort. What can you not control? Other people's opinions, random outcomes, social judgment. Keep a journal of things that triggered unnecessary stress. Ask this: is this mine to control? If no, let it go. Focus on the process, focus on effort, release expectations. Practice taking actions without caring about judgment. Start small, share an idea, speak honestly, pursue a hobby. Ask, which things today did I care about that didn't serve me? Each reflection strengthens your freedom muscle. When you practice this daily, fear loses power, judgment fades, anxiety dissolves, confidence appears naturally, opportunities flow effortlessly. Life becomes a series of actions, not a series of anxieties. The more you let go, the lighter life feels, the freer you become. And here's the paradox: the less you try to control life, the more it begins to flow perfectly. Now it's your turn. Ask yourself, what is one thing you've been over caring about that's holding you back? What would your life look like? Would you speak more honestly, take bigger risks, pursue the things you've always wanted, finally feel free? I want you to write it on the comments. Someone reading it may realize they need to let go of the same thing. Because the truth is, the moment you stop caring about what doesn't matter, life begins to flow naturally. Confidence, creativity, and freedom are not distant dreams, they're the byproducts of letting go. If you take only one thing from this video, let it be this: stop carrying the opinions, judgments, and unnecessary expectations that aren't yours. Focus on your actions, focus on your growth, focus on the process, release everything else, and watch life begin to flow effortlessly. Because the moment you stop caring about the wrong things, you finally start living.